Now we can answer why we celebrate Black History Month. So let's recap. In 1915, in response to the lack of information on the accomplishments of Black people available to the public, historian Carter G. Woodson co-founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. In 1926, the group declared the second week of February as Negro History Week to recognize the contributions of African Americans to U.S. history. Few people studied Black history, and it wasn't included in textbooks prior to the creation of Negro History Week. This week was chosen because it includes the birthdays of both Frederick Douglass, an abolitionist, and former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. Many schools and leaders began recognizing the week after its creation. The week-long event officially became Black History Month in 1976 when U.S. President Gerald Ford extended the recognition to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. Black History Month has been celebrated in the United States every February since. All right, quiz time. All right, time to test your knowledge about the history of Black History Month. If you think the answer is 1, hold up 1 finger. If you think the answer is 2, hold up 2 fingers. If you think the answer is 3, hold up 3 fingers. And if you think the answer is 4, hold up 4 fingers. All right, what month is Black History Month celebrated? 1, February, 2, March, 3, April, 4, August. Hold your fingers up. You got it. February. Who started Black History Month? 1, Barack Obama. 2, Abraham Lincoln. 3, Gerald Ford. 4, Carter Woodson. Hold up those fingers. You got it. Carter Woodson. And what did Black History Month originally start out as? 1, Black History Week. 2, Negro History Month. 3, Negro History Week. 4, Black History Day. Let's see those fingers. Absolutely, Negro History Week. All right, let's finish up Black American mathematicians. And don't forget, a mathematician is someone who studies mathematics, either as a hobby or as a job. And last but not least, we're going to talk about May Carl Jemison. May Carol Jemison is a mathematician, engineer, physician, and astronaut. In 1992, she became the first African-American woman to visit space when she went into orbit aboard NASA's Space Shuttle Endeavour. Jemison also spent time as a general practice physician and in the Peace Corps before joining NASA's astronaut program. She continues to be involved in several initiatives and recently served on the council for an initiative called Science Matters, which aims to encourage young children to understand and pursue careers in STEM.
Throughout Mae Jemison's life, excelling in one area has never been enough. Sure, we know her as the first African-American woman in space, but there's so much more that makes Jemison extraordinary. Mae grew up in Chicago, where like most kids, she dreamed of being a fashion designer, archaeologist, or astronaut. She decided at an early age she would go to space. Astronauts back then were exclusively white and male, but those aboard the USS Enterprise on Star Trek were different, particularly Lieutenant Uhura, and that allowed young Mae to see someone that looked like her in space. Even as a kid, she was extraordinary. She graduated high school at 16 and went to Stanford. She double majored in chemical engineering and African and Afro-American studies. During her junior year, she had to decide if she should be a doctor or a professional dancer, which were both legitimate options for her. She chose medical school and even worked in a Cambodian refugee camp in Thailand. And she didn't just become a doctor. In 1983, she became the area Peace Corps medical officer for Sierra Leone and Liberia in West Africa. She managed all the healthcare for the Peace Corps, wrote manuals for self-care, researched rabies with the CDC, and was in charge of medical care for the U.S. Embassy. And she was 27. After 2 years there, she returned to America and began working as a general practitioner in Los Angeles and took graduate-level engineering classes at the same time. And even then, she was still like, I could do more. So she applied to become an astronaut in 1985 and wasn't deterred when the Challenger exploded the next year. She reapplied and was selected out of 2,000 applicants to train to be an astronaut.
And liftoff of Space Shuttle Endeavour.
September 12, 1992, Jemison made history when she took off aboard the Endeavour for 8 days in space. As a science mission specialist, her job was to conduct experiments on the crew on motion sickness and bone cells. After her big dream was realized, Jemison decided to take it easy as an environmental studies professor at Dartmouth College, starting an educational nonprofit, a science camp, and serving as principal for 100 Year Starship, an initiative working to travel beyond our solar system in the next 100 years. Oh, and in 1993, she guest starred on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Jemison has gone back and forth on this whole role model thing. She didn't really want to be the poster child for black female astronauts, but she did want young girls, and the old white men that would hire them someday, to see that your race or gender doesn't limit you.